moment we arrived in the prison ship, they were abusing us. They shot a woman for just walking across the prison yard. There was very little water. We were left to absolutely be exposed to the elements. So in the day it was boiling hot with no protection from the sun or very little shade. And then at night they had no mattresses. They flooded the floors and they just basically left us to freeze. During the transit between the prison ship and the immigration yard, my shoulders were almost dislocated. I was kneed in the face again. I was kneed in the stomach. And then I had my hands zip tied behind my back for so long and for so tight that I almost started vomiting. When I was taken from the immigration to the next process, I was actually carried there with my shoulders behind my back and they lifted me, which almost put them out of place. From there, I had my head slammed into the table multiple times. I was kicked in the ankles, so I would trip, I would fall. I had 4 zip ties placed on my back, behind my back again, just as a dominance thing. They used pliers to get my earrings out, but they couldn't, so they just started gripping my ear and pulling it as hard as they could with the pliers, just because it was annoying and they couldn't get my piercings out. They were rather degrading during my strip search and making comments that were just like disparaging about me. And there was just so many instances of abuses all throughout, and I consider myself lucky for what I went through, but I was still brutalized by the IOF and the state of Israel. When we were in the prison cells, we were deprived of clean water, mattresses, any kind of warm clothes. At that point, I had had my handcuffs on for 19 hours to the point that my skin had started to swell around the handcuffs. And they just started playing mind games with us. They would change cells every hour or so, well into like 4 a.m. in the morning. They'd have dogs barking at us. It was just constant abuse and oppression. And as hard as it was for us what we went through, each time we just had to keep reminding ourselves that what happened, this is nothing to what happened to Palestinians. That absolutely pales in comparison. We would see drawings on the walls of Palestinian people and the time they'd spent there, and it was just a physical reminder of the fact that we may have been brutalized, but it was nothing in comparison to what Palestinians went through.